Hello everyone, welcome to Adi Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels and a trade plan for how we can trade tomorrow and what are the levels. See, as expected today we had a nice big red day. We did expect a bearish move today. Why we expected not just like that? Because of this bearish divergence that we were seeing. I'll just repeat that. The indicators were making a lower high. We just have to follow what the market shows us, right? The stochastic also was making a lower high, but yesterday the price was making a higher high, so I expected some dip. The dip came today, but on intraday basis it was little, about 360 points, but it was easily tradable. We are going to see those levels. Now this is the intraday chart on the 15-minute Bank Nifty chart where I have marked all the levels. See, as of now the 41,600 has held beautifully. This resistance we had that marked. We had a nice double top here and then started slipping, then over here consolidated, and today when we gapped up at about 41,477, and this trend line that we had, right, exactly, yesterday in my analysis I didn't have this trend line, but exactly around this level where even previously we were taking resistance at about 41,900. The first 15-minute candle itself was a red candle, then we kind of got a retracement, and then we had a fall off after the first initial whatever move, right, up and down. Then we had a nice fall of 360 points. See, yesterday we had a view that if this consolidation, which I'm going to mark now, breaks, that is this, yesterday we had this until here, so we had extended. If kind of this consolidation breaks, we might get further down move, and the first level of support is this. Even this gap was clearly marked in our trade plan that this gap can act as support, and today we came, tested, almost filled this gap, and we have taken support even on the 15 minutes time frame. Now where all we could have entered here is the couple of entries. I'm going to point out those. See, the first entry was when kind of we were not breaking out of this CPR level. Now you see how beautifully the CPR works, even though the first volatility came, and here, see, that's why we always need to wait for the candle to close. This 15-minute candle, when it went here, it did look like we are going to break out of the CPR, but immediately next candle there was no follow-up. The moment we were rejecting this, right, we could have taken a short entry, but always for option buying we look for some kind of a breakdown, right? Now if you see this level, this purple line that is marked, right, and kind of this trend line, when this breakdown came, we could have entered. This was a beautiful entry with the first target, a small scalping target as the previous day low, and then the support. Beautifully we broke it, went, retested this and came. Though this move was pretty small, it was only about 200 points, but yes, it was tradable. Along with this, if we had the EMAs, like there's a lot of videos where I even use the EMA, and there's a video on my channel how to use EMAs as well. You can check that out. See, the black line is the 100 EMA, red is 20, blue is 50, and this is the 200. These are the 4 EMAs that I use for trading, and it works for me. Different folks use different EMAs, but ultimately you just have to pick and use what works for you, right? So all along we were taking support at this 100 EMA on 15 minute from yesterday, right, from Tuesday, and today when this candle close came, along with this 100 EMA breakdown, we kind of also had this structure like this, kind of this trend line breakdown. So this was a good confirmation to enter short, and our stop loss would have been if any candle closed above this 100 EMA. Again, if we had gone back above the 100 EMA, now see, this is where we broke down, right? Now again, if we had gone up, definitely we would have taken our stop loss, but the trade did work pretty well, and we ended up filling this gap that was marked. Now since this gap is almost tested, and so I'm going to remove this and just mark it with a trend line. Now whatever these trend lines are marked, I'm going to leave it as it is. So the next down move can come only if we break 41,047. So basically we need to break this region, probably will come and test 40,800, and even if this breaks, then we might retest 40,650. Now, is that possible? We will see other data available as well. And on the higher side, we'll have to keep this level as a good resistance. If this breaks, that is 41,472, yeah, maybe we can go higher, but this is a level that we'll have to mark. We can take resistance again here. Now, whether we're going to get a gap up or a gap down tomorrow, that will have to wait for the US market to close. Today there is a big news event, the Fed meeting. They announced this interest rate and all that, right? So we'll have to watch out for that. The news is like immaterial, means we just have to see if it is a positive news, negative news, how the US market reacts to it. Because if the US, see, as of now we are at minus 130. If the US market falls further, then we could be heading for a huge gap down. See, right now seeing this is incorrect, because there's a news event that's going to come, I think later on at about 10:11 or something Indian time. So after that we'll have to see how the market will open. So the best thing to do is check SGX Nifty tomorrow morning, whether we're going to get a gap up or a gap down, and depending on that we can plan a trade. That is, say if we get a huge gap down, right? Now say we gap down here, there might be some pullback on the upper side to retest any of these levels. So if we get a huge gap down, we'll have to be careful. Or the other possibility is, once we get a huge gap down, wait for the price to come back towards the 20 MA on 15 minute, and then see if we can get a nice short position. Even that can work out, because the Bank Nifty does look bearish. In case we get a gap up, look for a selling. I will look for a selling opportunity at this level, that is around 41,350 or 41,475. That is in case we get a gap up, right? And if we open flat, then wait for again the market to consolidate in this level and break this region of 41,000, and then probably we can see, though the move is pretty little, maybe we can capture it in intraday 170 points from here to here. And even if this breaks, this is a good 400 points move. So these are the levels that we will be using, and our view is still bearish on the daily chart. So depending on whether we get a flat opening, gap up, gap down, we will have to trade. If we get a huge gap down, a pullback cannot be ruled out as well. And in case we become extremely bearish, we'll have to watch out for this level as well, because this is a nice gap that Bank Nifty can come to fill. If not tomorrow, the fall continues, these are the levels which we might come to fill again. And if you look at the open interest, right, even today, initially in the morning, the data was kind of mixed. A lot of put writing was there at 100, 200 and 300, even 400, but later on it was call writers that came in at 41,200, 41,100, and the overall open interest, if you see, we do have resistance at 41,300, 41,500 is a very good resistance. Breaking this would be difficult tomorrow expiry, and a good support is at 41,000. So we could be in this range between 41,300 and 41,000 if we open flat, but if 41,000 breaks, probably we'll get a nice dip until 40,500 also. So that is with Bank Nifty. If you look at Nifty, even Nifty had a nice big sell-off today from exactly where we had this previous day high. The first 15-minute candle itself showed some kind of a, see the way the Nifty and the Reliance was moving, when these wicks were coming, I kind of had a feeling maybe we'll get a pullback on the upside. But the way Bank Nifty fell, even Nifty came and took exact support at the previous day low. So basically Nifty just moved from previous day high to previous day low, right? So for Nifty, the next level of support is here, 17, almost 18,000, and on the higher side, if we break this 18,170, we could see 18,280, 287. And even on the daily chart, Nifty has given a nice big red candle after a nice bullish move. See, after all this gap up from, say, this was a nice big red candle, right? From this, after getting 400 point move, we have got a nice big red candle. So we'll have to see if this red candle is something. It's almost like a bearish engulfing candle that we have got after a doji. So we'll have to see if the down move continues or this is just some kind of a false candle and we're going to move higher. That we'll have to wait and see. But if we move higher, the next level is here, that is 18,350 on the daily chart. Then we have, I think, our all-time high level around 18,600 or so. So as of now, see, it all depends on this, how this US news comes out and how the market is going to gap up or gap down. But as of now, with whatever data is available, even tomorrow I would look to short the market unless we get a very huge gap down like 400, 500 points, 600 points in Banknifty. I'll continue to look for short positions, and some important targets on the downside for me in Banknifty that I'm planning is this 40,600 and 40,800, 40,360. If you see, though, one more thing to observe is in this change in OI, if you see there's a small amount of call sellers that have come in. Not sure, somebody is expecting the market to close maybe tomorrow at about 40,500, but this is a very small quantity, so we cannot give much importance to it. So that's it for tomorrow. Let's see how the market goes and hope we can make some money.